I never planned to come back to the cottage. Not after the fallout with Jordan. Not after everything that was said, and everything that wasn't. But when my sister Lily called and asked if I could help prep the place for our parents' anniversary, I said yes. I told myself it was for them. That I wouldn't think about the memories soaked into the floorboards or the way the late afternoon light hit the kitchen table like it always had, casting shadows that felt like ghosts. The first thing I noticed when I pulled up was that Jordan's car was already there. Of course it was. He always arrived early, always liked control. I sat in my car for a moment too long, gripping the steering wheel, wondering if I should turn around. But the guilt from months of silence held me still. I got out. He met me at the door, the screen creaking as he opened it. Same scruffy jaw. Same grey t-shirt he wore the summer everything between us boiled over. Didn't expect you to come, he said, voice low. Didn't expect to be invited, I shot back, trying to sound indifferent. We didn't hug. Didn't smile. Just exchanged a look loaded with things we never learned how to say properly. Inside, the cottage smelled like lemon cleaner and fresh pine. The air was crisp, too quiet. The kitchen was just as I remembered, stone countertops, big windows, and that old oak table in the center. The table where we used to drink coffee on lazy mornings. Where I used to steal glances at him over newspapers and orange juice. Where it had ended. We got to work, sweeping, polishing, folding napkins for the dinner party. We barely spoke, just moved around each other in practiced silence. At one point, I reached for the drawer beneath the microwave, and his hand brushed mine. It was accidental. It also wasn't. I pulled away first, but not fast enough to hide the jolt that ran through me. He noticed. You still do that, he said suddenly, not looking at me. Do what? Breathe in like you're trying to swallow a reaction. I didn't answer. The silence stretched between us again, longer this time. He leaned against the counter, arms crossed, and stared at the kitchen table like it was about to speak. You remember the last thing you said to me? I nodded slowly. I said, don't follow me. And I didn't. We both looked at the table now. Like it held a secret. That was the night of the storm, he said. I know. It's where everything ended. Or paused, I said quietly. That made him turn toward me, eyes narrowing. Paused? I shrugged. We left so much unfinished. Maybe it didn't end. Maybe we just didn't know how to keep going. He stepped closer, slow, measured. You disappeared. I needed space. And I needed a reason. I didn't have one to give. Not then. Maybe not even now. But something in me moved anyway. I was scared, I said. Not of you. Of how much I needed you. It felt like if I didn't pull away, I'd disappear into us. His jaw clenched, but he didn't speak. I placed both hands on the table between us. The wood was cool. Familiar. I used to sit here and imagine a life, I said. With you. Sundays. Burnt toast. Morning hair. The kind of silence that didn't feel like suffocation. He came around the table slowly, eyes locked on mine. Close enough now that I could feel the heat off his skin. His hands came down beside mine, palms flat on the same surface where we'd had our first kiss. Our first fight. Everything that mattered. You want to know what I imagined? He said, voice low. I didn't answer. This moment, he continued. You. Back in front of me. Saying something real. I looked up at him, and the air pulsed between us. And then, without warning, he kissed me. It wasn't soft. It wasn't hesitant. It was heat and years and regret and everything that never got said crashing all at once. I pulled him closer before I could think, hands in his shirt, the world narrowing down to breath and skin and that damn table beneath us. We didn't speak for a long time after. Just sat there afterward, side by side, our legs tangled, the wood cool against our backs. I thought I lost you, he murmured. You did, I said. But I never let go. Outside, the sun was setting. Orange spilled across the floor. Everything was quieter now, but not empty. He traced circles on the inside of my wrist with his thumb. What now? He asked. I leaned my head against his shoulder. We don't have to define it tonight. He nodded. We'll just leave it here for now. Right where it all went down. Right on the kitchen table. And that's where it stayed.